Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke. What up, y'all? It's Arthur D. Austin, better known as Choke No Joke. We out here at the legendary Tunnel nightclub, or at least where it used to be. Everybody asks me what's the Tunnel. The Tunnel was a nightclub that was owned in the 90s here by Peter Gatien. In 94, Stress Entertainment started a party called Mecca. In 96, Franchise Entertainment took it over and they had it until it closed. All the biggest names in hip hop perform here, from Jay-Z, Meth and Red, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Nas, Puff Daddy and the Family, Eve, you name it, they was all here. If you had heart, you came here. But everybody didn't have heart. So it's time for y'all to enter the club most people feared to enter, the Tunnel.
The Tunnel wasn't a unique hip-hop club, and its foundations were based on the concept of bringing hip-hop from all the boroughs to one location. And it was the brainchild of Peter Gatien. My name is Sterling Cox. I was the head of security.
Alpha Grinion, Brooklyn, New York.
My name is V.
House.
Sincere from Brooklyn.
Glenn Beck. Jumping Lee, whatever Lee you want to call me.
Omega.
Ray Mack.
Diamond.
Craig.
Candy.
Big Box. Big Country.
Ramona Diaz.
Big Penna. Big CB.
John Bass Raleigh.
Sean Brophy, sound engineer.
DJ Johnny Walker Red.
MC Frank Jigger, the celebrity's choice.
Choke No Joke, legendary videographer.
Supreme Bigger Figure. Big Cap. The Warden.
Big G, AKA the ringleader.
The Tunnel was the hip-hop nucleus.
It was the epicenter.
It was the domain, the temple.
It was the Mecca.
It was like the hip-hop Woodstock.
Nothing was that melting pot of hip-hop.
They kept the paradigm going.
It's almost like what Rucker did for like street basketball. The Tunnel was that of music industry.
Hip-hop had a heart. That shit was one of the main arteries.
It was actually a Mecca. That's what the original name of the party was, Mecca. It was like a time machine. That's how the Tunnel was. You came out a whole different individual.
We went in there, young men with attitudes, and came out there wiser men with our lives.
It was definitely a starting beginning spot for artists to come and mingle and branch out and get your record heard and get your shit together, really, to go into the next phase of your career.
The Tunnel was not open or did not open. A lot of new artists, or a lot of artists that we know now, to this very day, will have never been known.
All these artists out today need to be happy that the Tunnel was fucking open. Nobody would hear none of y'all singing tight pants niggas right now. The Tunnel was a platform for niggas like Jay and Puff, Wu and Mob and DMX and Rough Riders. Niggas don't respect these niggas today, man. You need to realize, man, without them niggas, man, and their platform, it made a lot of moves for niggas today.
It happened there, it made it relevant.
Became a pillar of hip hop.
The Tunnel is the nucleus of hip hop. And I'll say all the way down south, because when the Tunnel was open, wasn't too much going on down that motherfucker. Y'all can say what y'all want, east of the south, but New York made the shit pop. New York was where it's at. The Tunnel in New York is where you needed to be to pop.
The Tunnel was definitely a hip-hop nucleus, yo. It was just like the galaxy and bring other planets in. You have people from France, Germany, London, everywhere. If they came to New York, they had to go to the Tunnel.
Hi, from here, I come here to meet you, and I'm going to all the place. I'm going to the Bronx, to Sedgwick Avenue, with Cool Hook, do the party, and Cedar, and then I'm going to the Tunnel.
It was our barometer for, how we were really gauging records, and we were really, studying the behavior of the consumer.
Saying it ain't just like how they do it now.
you could just throw a record out and, you know what I'm saying, wait 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever for the shit to bubble. Niggas was putting them records on to see if them shits get that reaction. And if the shit was popping, niggas would fast track it. If it wasn't, niggas would go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. It's the definition of hip hop nucleus. Everything was there.
Everything that surrounded hip hop, from fashion to music, hairstyles.
Like it encompassed every part of the hip hop experience, and they put it all in one building on a Sunday night.
If you go as far back to little hole in the walls and little, sensors where people start elaborating, playing the sounds and displaying the culture, to within later on you have places that was up in Harlem like Harlem World, up in the Bronx called T Connection, just using them as an example of many other places all throughout the city. And then years later, here come places like Union Square and Latin Quarters. The last of the Mohegans of for real hip hop had became the Tunnel.
Tunnel was definitely a hip hop nucleus. It really was. And you gotta say, believe it or not, the wagon master was a one-eyed white guy from Canada, Peter Gation.
Nothing will ever be like the Tunnel.
Tunnel documentary out now on Tubi, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Cluster. You can see it right on YouTube. It's Stash Movies, the hip hop nucleus. Make sure y'all get that. Choke No Joke. We in the building. You already know. Let's get to the show. All right, let's go.
East Coast, West Coast, put it up. No palm trees or trees in the palms of dealers and fiends. Late night roam the streets. Weed is weaker, but it's cheaper. Not many chicks frontin' like divas. Out west, every chick's a model like Eva, and you know I'm far from believing her. So I'm G'ing her like she G'ing me. Banging in LA is a different thing. At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. When I'm on the west and I'm doing my thing, don't offer me coke or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. Gotta love life and offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the East, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the eye. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful, show you around the East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, East Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Pop your bottles and toss the cork. If you rap, West Coast. Both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzis playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all let's connect. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. You can't get the West without the ES. So it's manifested that we connect. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. Learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either war, we here now. You know what it is.
Choke, no joke. Smile treatment, you know. Yeah.
It's joke, no joke, no joke. Oh. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. I'm in the building. How y'all feeling out there? Feeling good? Let me hear you say real good. What's good? What's good? How y'all doing out there? Rob the Goat in the building. What up, Rob the Goat? I see you. Rob the Goat first in the building to show love. Appreciate you, baby boy. Who else up in here? Joel King, I see you. Mix Wells, I see you. Malik Smiggity, Crystal Hoshard, I see you. Michelle Friggity, Vince P, High Life, what up? Salute to you too. Double C, T Beezy. All right. Y'all said you already know. Man and Machine, Tony Piper. Okay. Boss Queen. Stack Kicky. Boogie Brown, Polo P, Lexington Folk, Cinnamon, Wangeli, keep it spicy now. Mr. X, Kim Rouse, Yasir's up in here. Coast Ghost, you already know. All right. Got the boss in the building. See Vinyl here. Inglewood up to no good. All right. Shout out to all my people over in Inglewood. Sophie 99, go check them out in Inglewood. The boss is in here, MVP. Agent Nueve up in here. Choke no joke, you know what it is. Man, oh, let me get my should I go on Instagram? Oh, I hate Instagram. Let's see if they even, as soon as I say Diddy name, watch that shit stop. Hey, I did this thing I just proposed on Instagram. Before I get into the show, I want to know what y'all think about this. Let me play it for y'all.
I got a question. I need y'all to answer in the comments. This one is for the ladies. Fellas, if you want to chime in, you can. That's up to y'all. Due to the debate last night, I was having a conversation with a woman. And my question that I'm proposing to y'all women, right? Say me and my girlfriend, my wife, my fiance, whoever, my significant other, We get in a relation, I get her pregnant, right? I get her pregnant, and 3 months, 4 months into the relationship.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
She says to me, F you, nigga. I'm not having this baby. I'm going to get an abortion. I would like to know, would that be her getting an abortion, or would that be her murdering my child? Answer now.
Did y'all get the question?
Choke, no joke. I got a question. I need y'all to answer in the comments. This one is for the ladies. Fellas, if you want to chime in, you can. That's up to y'all. Due to the debate last night, I was having a conversation with a woman. And my question that I'm proposing to y'all women, right? Say me and my girlfriend, my wife, my fiance, whoever, my significant other, we get in a relation, I get her pregnant, right? I get her pregnant, and 3 months, 4 months into the relationship, she says to me, F you, nigga. I'm not having this baby. I'm going to get an abortion. I would like to know, would that be her getting an abortion, or would that be her murdering my child? Answer now. Choke, no joke. I got a...
What do y'all think? 3 to 4 months in is too late. Not in some states. Not in some states. Well, Yasir say murder. Kimmy say that would be murdering your child. CM say 3 to 4 months in is too late. I don't think it is in some states. If you disagree, it would be taking a life, murder. I call that a blessing in disguise. Leave her after that because she's aborting that other dude, baby, not yours. You taking it up some whole other place else. All right. I just wanted to see what people's opinion on that would be. As you can see, people are scared to comment on that. It's a little touchy subject. The reason I brought that up was because the person I was talking to was talking about, Trump wanted to ban abortions, and he taking the rights away from. He trying to take the right away from women, and it's our body, and we, So, as we know, Trump isn't saying in all cases abortion will be illegal. He's not saying if you get raped, molested, or anything like that, you can't get an abortion. So the reason I proposed that question is because I asked the person that question. I said, okay, let's say this. Let's say I get a girl pregnant and I want the kid and she decides she don't want the kid. And we in a relationship, and 3 months down the line, we get into an argument and she don't want to be with me no more. She going to get an abortion. She's telling me, well, that would be her right because that is her body. Okay, what about me and my mother that's excited about finally having a kid? But being that it's her body and we had an argument or a disagreement, now after 3 months, she wants to terminate this baby and say, fuck me, she moving on. You telling me that because it's her body, that makes it fair to the man? Like the man don't have no say-so in that whatsoever because it's her body. But now if I take and I flip that and reverse it and say I get her pregnant and I say I don't want you to have it. I don't want that responsibility. Then it's still only her decision, her body. And if she wants to keep it, she could keep it and then take me to court and take me, hold me liable for the next 18 to 21 years, depending on the state, right? So for a man, right, whatever the abortion law is, we don't have no say so any goddamn way. So when you said Trump is trying to take something away from women, we don't have no rights to tell y'all what to do either way, right? And who would want to kill their baby? And I feel like not all women, I'm not boxing all women in this box. I feel like a lot of the women that are upset with the thought of not being able to get an abortion whenever they want is because of the people that they may get pregnant by, right? If they get pregnant by a bum ass nigga, ain't nothing, they want to go and get rid of it. If she done went to a bar, wanted to have sex that night, got drunk, got freaky, went and slept with a stranger, had a one night stand, and accidentally got pregnant. I'm not talking about rape, because there's plenty of women that went on trips and met somebody and had sex and got pregnant and don't know who the nigga was and this, that, and other. I'm not talking about any illegal thing, right? And she may, for that reason, be like, oh my God, I done slipped up and got pregnant. Oh, my husband gonna kill me, right? Let's say that's the case, right? Let's use that as an example. Let's say that a woman cheats on her husband with another man and gets pregnant, and her husband got a vasectomy, right? And so she knows, and he knows, there's no way that he could get her pregnant. She go cheats right? And now with the law, she can't get no abortion, right? So she can't go sneak off, get no abortion, right? And then that would be very dangerous for her relationship, for her marriage, right? Because now if she can't go sneak off to get an abortion for her husband not to find out, or let's say he can have kids and she get pregnant by the other dude and not pregnant by her husband, and she can't get an abortion to convince her husband, oh, we don't need this kid, because the law may be in place where she can't get no abortion. And now she give birth and she got a white baby and she and her husband's fucking African, and because she was sleeping with this white man, right? So I don't believe that all women, like I said, I'm not putting all women in the box. I don't believe that all women are irate or angry about a law saying abortions is illegal because they want the option of having whoever baby they get pregnant by. And if even, I believe even if he put into play excluding rape, molestation, being drugged, being kidnapped, if he exclude all those things that they would complain about, right? No, what if somebody get raped? Like they say, well, if you get raped, that it don't account to you. You can get an abortion, right? Let's say that he said all that. I bet you there will be still women that will still have a problem with it for other reasons, like I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Get pregnant by a bum nigga, You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not having this nigga, baby. You crazy? That was just, you know, the thought. I personally don't believe that all women have a problem with the abortion law just because of the bad things that can happen. I feel like they still want to have the option to say if they want it or not, or just like I said, get in a relationship and cheat and get pregnant by the other guy and can't do nothing about it. Just something to think about. But it's a bunch of things I got to cover tonight. I think being that it's late for some, and some of us, you know, this is nothing. We do this. I think I'm gonna jump right into the Diddy lawsuit that I forgot to turn this on. Okay. I'm live on Instagram. I'm gonna go live on Instagram first. Instagram, I'm live on YouTube. All right, Instagram, y'all just chimed in. I'm about to get into Diddy's what number is this in lawsuits for Diddy? I'm not joking when I say I lost count. Like, I really lost count. You know what I'm saying? I really lost count. What number is this in lawsuits? Like, Jesus Christ, Diddy. And for all y'all that don't think, keep saying, Diddy ain't going to jail. Diddy ain't going to jail. You not paying attention. I don't know what the hell you watching. Diddy is going to jail. If Woody would have went to the police, this would never have happened. I didn't even read through this. I'm doing it for the first time now with y'all. But I just want to say this. I'm gonna jump subjects real quick, get right back to Diddy. The Shannon Sharpe thing. I heard maybe 3 or 4 seconds. I can't find the full audio of the live that was streaming while he's supposed to have been having sex. So I don't really get what the big hoopla is that he was having sex. Now, some are insinuating that it sounded like he was having sex with a guy or something. I think that's what the hype is. But let's just say if that's what the story is. Will any of y'all really be surprised, bro? Like, for real. Like, I'm trying to not be so choke no jokish in my response. I'm trying to be a little more politically correct. But like, if see, I can't even talk when I'm trying to censor myself. It's like I just can't not be who I am and just say what I want to say. I'm trying, Shannon Sharpe, not to say it in a way for you to get offended, because I want to come on your show. That's the God honest truth. I'm trying to say it in a way where this nigga don't be mad. Like, I don't want him to come on my show. He was talking about me when that video came out. I don't want him on here. Nah, he said, so I'm trying to chill. But I did see him give a response and say that he didn't get hacked. He made his live was on, this, that, and the other. He didn't never use it before, whatever. But me keeping it a buck, and I don't, whether he was with a man or not, to me, like, Shannon Sharpe, if you was with a guy and that's what the people heard, because like I said, I only heard like 3-second clip, so I don't know what people heard. But if you was with a guy, it wouldn't be far-fetched. You're not the first person in the industry that would have had sex with a man and then being in that circle, that conglomerate, that cult, whatever you want to call it, it would not be far-fetched for anyone to believe it, right? So I'm going to say this. I use Instagram probably several times a day, right? I may only go live every once in a while, and that's when I probably go on here, all right? For you to be having sex, brother, and your live go on, it takes too many prompts for that to accidentally happen. So I don't know if your PR people thought it was cool. I don't know if you lost a bet. But if you want me to believe that accidentally happened, I just can't be fake to believe that. I had Instagram for years now. I have never once accidentally went live. There's too many prompts. For one, for you to accidentally go live, you would have to already been on Instagram, right? With your phone just sitting there on Instagram. Then you would have to hit the little key thing in the middle to get the options to go from reels to stories to posts to live, right? Then you will have to swipe over to the live category option, right? After you do the slide over to get to live, you have to push the button to start the live. How did you do that in the process of getting undressed, right? Did you start getting undressed and then unlock your phone? Took your clothes off, right? Got naked, went into the bedroom, and then swiped the pages till you saw Instagram, right? Then y'all started having foreplay, right? The foreplay is going on and stuff. You getting hot, you getting in the mood. That's when you hit the icon for Instagram, right? By accident. This all happened by accident, right? Boom, Instagram opens up. You got your feed right there, right? At this time, somebody is giving somebody oral sex. Gotta be, right? Or sucking on the neck, the chest area, as something else is going on. Because at this time, you're going to hit the little plus sign thing for the option to come up, okay? To go to post, reels, story, live, might not be in that order, but, right? So by then, you should be, well, if you was with a guy, I don't know at which stage you would be, but if you was with a woman, at this point, you can't be penetrating her because you still got to swipe over to live and hit that and get that to go. Then put the phone down and say, okay, we live now. Okay, we live, baby. Go ahead, make your noise now. We live. We gonna fake this out, and we gonna say it was an accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got hacked. You know what I'm saying? You know, after this goddamn Marlon Wayans interview, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The numbers was good, but we gonna get them up like this. We gonna get them up, right? You know, okay. Ocho, 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 tres, dos, cuatro, cinco. Ocho, dos, cuatro, cinco, seis, nueve, papi. Ocho, cinco. So, for me to believe that and hold on. This is the worst part of it. You said you never went live on Instagram before. You don't even know how to go live. But you was able to, by mistake, go live through unlocking your phone, swiping the Instagram, clicking Instagram, clicking the button for the options, swiping to live, hit the live button. 6 options you did by accident. All right, my nigga. We believe you, Shannon Sharpe. We believe you. All right? 6 options. 6 tasks you got to do. You did by accident and was having sex. Like you had to see you had sex with while you was in your head. You had the phone in your head. Like, yeah, you going live right now, baby. I'm going live right now. Yeah, huh? Huh? Don't you sing, huh? So, do I believe that it was an accident? Fuck no, I don't believe it. Not at all. Not for a second. We all use Instagram. How many times have you went live on Instagram by accident? Any of y'all? How many of y'all ever went live on Instagram by accident? Thank you. We moving on now. All right, so Diddy is down on his luck again, right? Poor Diddy, man. You can't be sympathetic for this dude no more. Every time you look up, he doing something that's making this whole thing worse for himself. Oh, Diddy. Now we got one of the girls from Making of the Band, Danity Kane, Dawn Richards. She has filed a lawsuit. Now, this is the house of cards falling down. You know what I'm saying? This right here, this is pulling like damn near the base of the house of cards. Because she comes into following Cassie gave this case credibility. The video with Cassie gave this case even more credibility. Now you have a more known person that the public has had a chance to witness this young lady and got to grow with her on a reality show to kind of already be able to judge her character because she was on a reality show opposed to somebody like Luda Rod, and we never really seen them in the presence of Diddy. And reality, even though that ain't really reality, but in a reality, fake reality format. So she's like Aubrey coming out. It's like, you know, the person. It's like if Mace came out and said Diddy was molesting him or having sex with him or whatever, something allegedly, right? That would hit like bam. That's like pulling the whole, kicking the table over when it comes to the house of cards on Diddy. You know, so this right here is going to advance the grand jury in this case to help the grand jury indict him on this case. This is I ain't even read this, and it's just the fact that we all know who Dawn Richards are. If you don't know, you're probably a little younger and didn't watch the Making of the Band or wasn't a fan of the whole Bad Boy era. But where is it? All right. Dawn Angelique Richard, United States District Court, Southern District of New York. And we know Making of the Band was filmed in New York. Okay, let's see who they got listed in here. Sean Combs, Harv Pierre, Remote Productions Inc. New Remote Productions Inc. The Nordlinger Group. November 15th, LLC. Daddy's House Recording Studio. Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC. Bad Boy Records, LLC. Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings. Oh my God, that's too much. Sean Combs, Interscope, Universal, Capital, A&M, Diageo, Jesus God, Ciroc, Canon, Comb Wines and Spirits, Janice Combs Publishing, Janice Combs Publishing Holdings, Sony. She going after anything and everything that ever had to do with this dude. I wonder why Harv is listed. Okay, let's see. Plaintiff Dawn Angelique, by and through her attorneys, the Bloom firm. The Bloom firm. Is that Lisa Bloom? I think that is Lisa Bloom. The Bloom Firm Legal Studio, LLC, brings this action against defendants. Ms. Richards alleges, upon knowledge concerning her own experience, upon information and belief as to all other matters. Dawn Angelique Richards, known professionally as Dawn Richard, is an American music singer, songwriter, and performer. She gained widespread recognition as a member of the girl group Danity Kane, formed by defendant Sean Combs, and later transitioned into a key member of Mr. Combs' band Diddy Dirty Money. Oh yeah, that's right. She was in Dirty Money too. Oh, that's even worse. Because now they're gonna say she was around for a long time. Defendant Sean Combs, a once celebrated, nigga said once celebrated. He ain't celebrating no more. A once celebrated hip-hop mogul, popularly known by his stage's name Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Diddy, or Love, skyrocketed to fame in the late 1990s and became a, we know all this, man. Let's just get to the accusations. Mr. Combs' namesake temper frequently manifested in physical violence. Mr. Combs regularly hurled objects in fits of rage, often throwing items such as mobile phones, laptops, food, and studio equipment across the room or at people. On numerous occasions, Miss Richard witnessed Mr. Combs brutally beat on numerous occasions. On numerous occasions, Miss Richard witnessed Mr. Combs brutally beat his girlfriend, Miss Cassandra Cassie Ventura. His persistent abuse included choking and strangling Miss Ventura, striking her with his hands and with objects, slapping her, punching her, and throwing items at her, including a scalding hot pan. This nigga Diddy is a weak-ass nigga. On many occasions, Miss Richard tried to intervene, offering Miss Ventura support and encouragement to leave Mr. Combs. Each time Mr. Combs learned of her efforts to help Miss Ventura and became enraged, threatening Miss Richard's life with statements such as, "You want to die today? I make niggas go missing. And I end people." Wow. Compounding Mr. Combs' violent and death threats, he flagrantly exploited Miss Richards' music talent as a singer and writer while withholding her rightful earnings, stealing her copyrighted works, and subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment, among other violations. For nearly a decade, Mr. Combs manipulated Miss Richard with mantras that submission to his deprived demands was necessary for career advancement, instilling her the belief that such abuse and exploitation were required for female artists to succeed in the music industry. It was not until Miss Ventura's bravery and coming forward that Miss Richard realized her own personal suffering was tied to the many years of abuse by Mr. Combs that had become normalized for her. Uh-oh. Like I said, the house of cards. Somebody pulled the Cassie cards. The cards fell into the Dawn Richard cards. The Dawn Richard card is going to fall into somebody bigger. It's probably going to be Usher in one of them. As more women courageously come forward, plaintiff has empowered by this collective strength and now adds her voice to the growing chorus of victims bravely sharing their harrowing stories. See, and that's what Puff going to come and say, oh, she never said none of this before. She just doing it because she saw Cassie get paid. Now she just trying to get paid. That's how Puff going to carry this. She never made no allegations. She never told. She never went to the police. She sat around for all these years. And she went and came back and joined. They're going to say, oh, you was in Danity Kane, right? Making of the band? Yeah. And he abused you. Yeah, he abused you. And you went and joined Dirty Money after he abused you and Danity Kane. Why would you go and join Dirty Money if he did all this stuff to you? And what you call it? If you felt abused in Danity Kane, why would you come back years later and join Dirty Money and subject yourself for more abuse, Dawn? That's what the lawyer is going to say. As more women courageously come forward, plaintiff has empowered by this collective strength and now adds her voice to the growing chorus of victims bravely sharing their harrowing stories. Together, they seek justice and stand in solidarity as the latest victims of the Me Too movement in the music industry. Yeah, this sounds like a white person wrote this. No offense to white people, but you can tell the difference from when these black lawyers be writing it and when the white lawyers is writing it. I told you all the parties in the beginning. Defendant Sean Close. Excuse me. Upon information and belief residing within the state of California, at all relevant times herein, Mr. Combs met the definition of an employer of Miss Richard under all relevant statutes. Defendant Harpier, upon information and belief residing within the state of New Jersey, and at all times relevant herein, Defendant Harpier was the president of Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records in New York and met the definition of an employer of Miss Richard under all relevant statutes. Defendants Remote Production, Inc. are Delaware corporation and television production companies which, upon information and belief, were created by Mr. Combs to produce Making It a Band in New York and in California. The Norlinger Group is a financial firm. Daddy House is the studios. Bad Boy Entertainment Inc. is in Florida. All right, these are all the companies that he's suing. We don't have to go through all that. Ciroc, Universal, Janus Publishing, Love Records, Epic Records, Jurisdiction and Venue. Let's get to the factual allegations. Miss Richards is selected to be in Mr. Combs' all-female music group, Danny the Kane, after competing on MTV's Making the Band. In or around 2004, Miss Richards was selected to participate in season 3 of MTV Network's reality TV show, Making the Band. The show centered around the formation and development of a new musical group under the mentorship of Mr. Combs. The contestants would compete and be chosen by Mr. Combs to form a band, which would go on to create albums and perform. For aspiring artists like Miss Richards, Making the Band represented a concrete path to a career in the entertainment industry. Miss Richards appeared in season 3 and 4 of Making the Band, which first aired in 2005, and then in season 5 of Making His Band, which aired in 2009. Out of thousands of contestants, Miss Richards, along with approximately 12 other women, were selected to participate in season 3 of Making the Band. 5 women, including Miss Richards, were ultimately chosen to be in the group Danny the Kane, which was named by Miss Richards. Prior to and include the first Danny the Kane album, Making the Band was filmed entirely at Daddy House Recording Studio in New York City. The Making the Band content that was focused on Danny the Kane's work on his second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, was filmed at Daddy's house and at Mr. Combs' Miami residence. Other Making the Band episodes included Los Angeles as a third filming location. Upon information and belief to create Making the Band, camera crews filmed 24/7 around now, 24 hours a day, gathering months worth of footage to condense into mere hours of entertainment for viewers. Danny the Kane released his self-titled debut album in August 2006 and his second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, in March of 2008. Danny the Kane's first album sold over 4 million copies. Damages to Miss Richards for unpaid salaries are estimated at $1 million. Danny the Kane's second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, sold over 2 million copies. Damages to Miss Richards for unpaid salaries and royalties are estimated at $500,000. Damage on unpaid wages for touring on over 100 dates for Miss Richards with Danny the Kane are estimated at $1,800,000. Mr. Combs fired bandmate Aubrey O'Day and D. Woods from Danny the Kane on live television at the height of his fame in 2008, which resulted in Danny the Kane being disbanded in 2009. Mrs. Richards encounters Mr. Combs' aggressive, intimidating behavior and anonymous toward women. During the auditions and on the set of Making the Band, Mr. Combs projected an aura of superiority, wealth, and power. Mr. Combs regularly wore sunglasses and avoided looking the female contestants in the eyes, contributing to an atmosphere of uncertainty and intimidation, as all these industry cats niggas do. All them niggas wear shades because they can't look you in your face, which is a sign of a weak-ass nigga to me. A weak-ass person, because the women do it too. During auditions, Mr. Combs spoke to the female contestants in a hostile, condescending manner, making disparaging gender-based remarks such as calling them fat, ugly bitches or fat, ugly bitches and hoes. Miss Richards felt threatened and intimidated by Mr. Combs' blatant disdain for the young women like herself who were excited for the opportunity to be on the show. Once the band was made, Mr. Combs' contempt for women was readily apparent as he continued to display aggressive and hostile behavior towards Miss Richard and all of her female Danny Kane bandmates. Mr. Combs regularly referred to the 5 women as bitches and hoes, and then degenerated their physical appearances. By way of example, Mr. Combs stated that Miss Richard was too skinny and needed to do something about this, I guess her face, to do something about this. On one occasion, or around 2005, during the first season of the making of the band 3, Miss Richard observed Mr. Combs' ex-partner and the mother of 3 of his children, Kim Porter, leaving Mr. Combs' recording studio in tears with visible facial injuries, including a lacerated lip. Realizing that Mr. Combs was capable of committing acts of violence against women caused Miss Richards to feel deep apprehension and fear that Mr. Combs could one day physically harm her. Miss Richard was present when Mr. Combs was introduced to Cassandra Ventura for the first time in or around 2006. The moment Mr. Combs first saw Miss Ventura, his demeanor noticeably shifted. Mr. Combs positioned himself directly in front of Miss Ventura's seat, invading her personal space and fixated on her with an intense, unyielding stare, isolating her from the other people in the room, including Miss Ventura's then boyfriend, music producer Ryan Leslie. Coincidentally, this first meeting between Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura was the first time that Miss Richard was in Mr. Combs' presence without a camera crew filming. Observing Mr. Combs' behavior, or observing Mr. Combs behave in such an intimidating, predatory manner the first time that they were off camera, Miss Richard felt deeply apprehensive and afraid of him. Subsequently, Miss Ventura ended her relationship with Mr. Leslie and began dating Mr. Combs, who become violent and abusive towards her, or who would become violent and abusive towards her. Danny Kane, sexual harassment, inhumane treatment, and denial of basic needs by Mr. Combs. I'm gonna need some more for, I guess it's going to get into something more. For the majority of Mrs. Richards' tenure as a member of Danny Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, Mr. Combs required her to remain at his various residences and studios in New York, LA, Florida, Jersey, for activities such as recording, rehearsing, dressing, preparing costumes, and exercising. Throughout the productions of making of the band 3 and 4, Mr. Combs deprived Miss Richard and her Danny Kane bandmates of basic needs such as adequate food and sleep. When Miss Richard or her Danny Kane bandmates requested meals or rest, Mr. Combs refused, and this sound like the R. Kelly joint. He wouldn't let them eat. They was peeing in buckets. Adequate food and sleep. When Miss Richard or her Danny Kane bandmates requested meals or rest, Mr. Combs refused and chastised them with derogatory comments like, "You bitches don't want this," or "Y'all are not hungry enough," and "I'm paying you bitches to work." This demeanor behavior gradually undermined Miss Richard's confidence and contributed significantly to her growing feelings of insecurity and fear of reprisal from Mr. Combs. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs would regularly be awake for prolonged periods of time. That is that cocaine. It'll keep you up for days, papi. Allegedly. Periods of time because he was high on drugs. How did I guess that? During these periods, Mr. Combs demanded continuous access to Miss Richard and her Danny the Kane members, often forcing them to record and rehearse for stretches of 36 to 48 hours without breaks. That's that cocaine. Forced to choose between eating and sleeping, Miss Richard lost a significant amount of weight, weighing approximately 100 pounds at a height of 5'4". 5'4" ain't that tall. Miss Richard began to normalize these extreme conditions and perceive them as standard requirements of her participation in Danny the Kane. Mr. Combs regularly sent his associates to wake Miss Richard and Danny the Kane members in the overnight hours so he could watch them rehearse. The regularity of these disturbances led Miss Richards to adapt by sleeping in a sitting position, fully dressed and with makeup on, heightening her anxiety. Over time, this abnormal sleeping arrangement came to feel routine, further normalizing Mr. Combs' invasive demands. In addition to exhausting rehearsals, Mr. Combs required Miss Richard and her bandmates to participate in intense workout with a personal trainer. And on one occasion, while running on the beach, Miss Richard became so dehydrated that she vomited. Instead of offering medical assistance, MTV network camera crew filmed the incident, contributing to her acceptance of such treatment as part of her professional life. The unrelenting and rigorous schedule of rehearsals, performances, and near constant filming that Mr. Combs imposed caused Miss Richard to experience extreme weight loss, dehydration, fatigue, and pain rashes from the microphone pack. She was, this ain't funny, painful rashes from the microphone pack she was required to wear on her back. These conditions intensified Miss Richard's feelings of powerlessness as she increasingly viewed them as a part of her professional reality and feared the consequences of any resistance. I'm gonna read some more before I give my opinion. In further assertion of power and dominance, Mr. Combs insisted on holding meetings while dressed only. This sounds familiar. I told y'all recently about someone else telling me about this type of situation. Mr. Combs insisted on holding meetings while dressed only in his underwear. On one occasion in 2008, as Miami residents, Mr. Combs emailed Miss Richard directing her to meet him in the living room. When she arrived, he was wearing only his underwear. Miss Richard asked Mr. Combs to put his clothes on, but he refused, stating, "This is my fucking house." Mr. Combs then conducted a meeting lasting approximately an hour while dressed in his underwear, causing Miss Richard to feel violated and embarrassed, and amplifying her feelings of powerlessness. Following the official Danny the Kane breakup in early 2009, Man. I'm sorry, this just don't hit like the way Cassie lawsuit hit. I me trying to be politically correct. I'm like I said, I'm trying not to be so choke no jokish and just so raw and direct with my commentary. I'm trying to not set myself up for a bigger platform, but I'm trying to not just be as raw and offensive because I don't want to offend this woman because they're gonna say she's still a victim, right? But these allegations against Diddy could have been taken to human resources at the label, at MTV Network, at these like this don't come off as the allegations of rape, sexual assault. I didn't finish yet, but like a lot of this, like she could have took the human resources way back then and still had a lawsuit. You get what I'm saying? Somebody said Bad Boy don't have HR. Every company has HR. If it wasn't Bad Boy, then it was the distribution company. But there's no way. Like it may not have HR in the Bad Boy's office, but there's people that she could have went to in Interscope. Who was they? Arista. And then her being, she came through making her the band. That's a TV show. MTV. There is HR and Viacom. You're tripping. You're tripping. She came through Viacom via Bad Boy Entertainment. It's HR. However y'all want to look at it, it's HR. Right? But yeah, like a lot of this stuff in here is more human resources than the alleged of drugging and raping and excuse me, sex trafficking allegations that he got going against him now, like with all these other people. This here, I'm not saying that she don't have a lawsuit to sit back and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I was taken advantage of. Yeah, he did some wrong things to me too. But like, the average person will say, oh man, this sounds like some bullshit. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to be more mature in my response and say that this sounds more along the lines of human resources and stuff like that she could have took up with the label and the network. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Cassie by no means. Following the official Danny Kane breakup in 2009, effectuated by Mr. Combs, Miss Richards experienced significant financial hardship. Okay. You don't think the dudes that get dropped from the label? Let me finish. Like with no prospective opportunities for. Oh my God, bro. All right. All right. All right. All right, y'all. All right. Let me read this paragraph and then I'm going to say something. With no prospective opportunities for employment within the entertainment field, Ms. Richards spent several months traveling from Baltimore to Daddy's House recording studio in New York without pay or allocated budget. Mr. Cohn promised that Ms. Richards' compensation would result in payment or license fees and royalties pursuant to her contract with Bad Boy Records. However, no such compensation was ever reported or paid to Ms. Richard. Damages relative to these continuing copyright infringements will be proved at trial. Now, you cannot tell me that you get signed to Bad Boy, you get on MTV, Making of the Band for 2 seasons and get all this goddamn exposure around the world, and the band breaks up and now you have no prospective opportunities for employment within the entertainment field? Are you kidding me? That's like the Lox saying, yo, Puff dropped us, and being that Puff dropped us, we can't get a deal. No, we can't get a deal now. The exposure that they got from Bad Boy got them a deal, helped them get a deal, helped Rough Rider get a deal with them. It was a no-brainer. These niggas just sold records over at Bad Boy. They were just like, what record label is not going to pick these dudes up? So Danny Kane breaks up, and she had no prospective opportunities for employment within entertainment. Yo, bro, you got to be kidding me, right? So she couldn't write for nobody? She sings. She couldn't demo songs for people? She couldn't go on tour and do cover songs? She couldn't go work cruise ships? Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. And then she goes back to Diddy and goes and getting dirty money. Diddy dirty money. Miss Richard experiences Mr. Combs' gender-based physical violence, criminal acts, sexual assault, threats, and intimidation. By approximately the fall of 2009, many of Miss Richard's compositions had been recorded by other Bad Boy artists. So you was writing for other people. Due to the success of her compositions, Miss Richard was invited to meet with musical artist Kalina Harper, Miss Harper, and shortly thereafter, Mr. Combs, Miss Richard, and Miss Harper formed a new group, Diddy Dirty Money. So only Diddy is the only person that will work well. Is what she's saying, right? So she couldn't get no work, but Diddy would call her back and work with her again, but nobody else would. Initial recording for Diddy Dirty Money album, Last Train to Paris. That album was garbage. I hated that album. Last night. That was a good song, but that album, that Last Train to Paris, that shit was, oh my God. That shit was the last train for Diddy. Took place in Mr. Combs' home in Los Angeles. On the first day of recording, Miss Richard and Miss Harper arrived at Mr. Combs' home and waited in the kitchen where Mr. Combs' girlfriend, Miss Ventura, was frying eggs for him. Miss Richard observed Mr. Combs come down the stairs looking high on drugs. Looking, that's speculation, Your Honor, entered the kitchen, approached Miss Ventura and screamed, "I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you, bitch. You never do it right." Mr. Combs pushed Miss Ventura against the wall and choked her. Then picked up the scalding hot pan of eggs and threw it at her, causing her to fall to the ground in a fetal position. Cursing and screaming, Mr. Combs dragged Miss Ventura up the stairs. Not for nothing, not saying nothing, but what is he doing to her? Right? So is this to foul to, let me just read it. I'm just looking at this for something to happen to her. Frozen in the shock and terror, Miss Richard heard glass shattering, crashing, and banging noises as Mr. Combs dragged Miss Ventura up the stairs. Miss Richard wanted to intervene and help Miss Ventura, but Miss Harper adamantly refused to intervene in Mr. Combs' relationship and physically led Miss Richard out of the residence. Terrified and shaken, Miss Richard returned to her hotel where she was unable to sleep due to worrying about Miss Ventura and her own safety. Did you call the cops? You safe at your own hotel now. You seen this woman get assaulted. You wanted to help her. Did you call the police? Not saying that you had to, but if you was concerned and you wanted to help her, did you call the police? The following day, Miss Richard received a call demanding that she return to Mr. Combs' residence, continue recording. Mr. Combs brought Miss Richard and Miss Harper into the recording studio, in the recording room at his studio, locked the door, dimmed the lights, and gave each of them flowers. Mr. Combs went on at a length stating, "This is normal. This is what just love is. This was just a lover's argument where no one was hurt. This is what love is. I'm giving you an opportunity. If you want to make it, you'll shut your mouth. If you say anything, there will be consequences." Mr. Combs further warned that people end up missing. Being threatened while locked for over 20 minutes in a small enclosed space with Mr. Combs after observing Mr. Combs violently assault Miss Ventura the day before. Miss Richard was terrified and genuinely believed that Mr. Combs would follow through on his threats. And you stayed? And you stayed. If you're new to the channel, can you please subscribe to the channel? Can you please subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel? Just a little reminder. I appreciate it. Oh my God. In or around November 2009, after the Soul Train Awards in Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Combs flew Miss Richard and Miss Harper to his house in New York on his private jet for an after party. There were many well-known celebrities at the after party, and copious amount of illegal drugs were being openly consumed. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs had arranged for dozens of young girls. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs had arranged for dozens of young women and girls, some of whom appeared to be underage, to be transported to the party. Oh my God, bro. The women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were given drugs and alcohol. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. And you didn't go to the police? So Cassie Lawsuit brings in this recollection, and you watched all this shit and you never went to the police, Dawn? The women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were given drugs and alcohol. Many of them appeared lethargic, or passed out. What does that word mean, y'all? Do anybody know what this word means? Let me look it up. Lethargic means sluggish. Tired, a little lethargic. Man, okay. Many of them appeared lethargic or passed out while Mr. Combs and his guests performed sexual acts on them? Bro. And you didn't go to the police? Oh, she got to be worse than Gene Square. Are you kidding me right now? You sat there, Dawn Richards, watch these women get drugged and you coming out 2009, 10 years is 2019, 15 years later in a lawsuit? I'm not defending Diddy, y'all, at all. Please don't think I'm defending Diddy at all. The women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were given drugs and alcohol. Many of them appeared lethargic or passed out while Mr. Combs and his guests performed sexual acts on them. Miss Richard believed that her presence at the party was a test to see whether Mr. Combs could trust her. 15 years later, no, you can't, Puffer. You can't trust her 15 years later. No, you can't. Mr. Combs repeatedly said things like, "This is a buffet. Enjoy yourselves. This is what we do. This is how we party." Miss Richard felt shocked and horrified at the sight of Mr. Combs and his guests violating and incapacitated young women and employed Mr. Combs' personal assistant Capricorn Clark to allow her to leave. Miss Clark insisted that Miss Richard wait 15 minutes for Miss Clark to make it make sense. That is, to make Miss Richard exit less conspicuous so that Mr. Combs would not notice that she had left, knowing that she was not free to leave and had to wait for Miss Clark to help orchestrate her departure. Mrs. Richard experienced feelings of panic and being trapped against her will. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm done. Yo. Mr. Combs regularly placed Miss Richards in similar situations with no means to escape. At Mr. Combs' drug-fueled parties, his guests, including Miss Richards, were required to surrender their phones upon entry. Mr. Combs kept doors locked and guarded by security personnel and making it impossible for Miss Richards to leave without alerting Mr. Combs that she had done so. Mr. Combs hired police officers to attend parties, sending a clear message to guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers and creating a climate of fear and a tactic warning that reporting him to authorities would be both unacceptable and futile. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm done with this one. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God. Dawn, you didn't file no police report. You sat there and watched women drugged and what kind of woman are you? You kidding me? You sat there and watched Cassie get beat, dragged upstairs, go to your hotel, you don't call the police. You go to several parties, because this ain't one time. Several parties and women is drugged and they underage, and you sitting there watching them sleeping with women that's passed out, and you didn't go to the police. You didn't go to the police, Dawn? I'm gonna read the whole thing. Do I gotta read the whole thing for her to see Cassie get dragged up the stairs? You saying I gotta read the whole thing to know that she should have called the police for Cassie as a woman? Now I understand these niggas trying to get a check, but as a woman who claiming in this lawsuit that she wanted to help her, she made it to her hotel and did not call the police. You kidding me? I got to read the whole thing to know that she sat there and watched women get drugged, allegedly. Underage women that she can see, underage. She's seeing that, saying that they got drugged, they all using drugs and stuff. And she sat there and watched him and his celebrity friends sit there and what you call it, sex these women, allegedly. I got to read the whole thing to know that she should have called the police for those two isolated interviews to have a lawsuit today. You kidding me? You kidding me? After Gene has sat there and said he done saw he's knowingly knowing that these women are getting spiked liquor. His baby mother is in the car, passed out because she got drugged. He don't go to the police. And he is the police. And I got to read the whole thing to know that these people with these isolated incidents alone, I got to read the whole thing. Y'all see this bullshit? You got to read the whole thing. Like, we that slow, y'all, that to know that she sat there and watched a whole party of people get drugged, allegedly, and niggas just start sleeping with them, and she's sitting there and she want to leave, and she can't leave But when they do find the coast clear to her, she leaves and don't go to the police. Please go over to your man's page with that. Please go over to your man's page with that. Please. I don't want to block you. Please go over to your man page with that. Please. Please. If you don't like what I'm saying, please just respectfully just go over to your man page with that. Please. I really don't want to block you. I don't. You're going to sit here and try to play me stupid. She's sitting here watching, telling us, did she watch women get drugged and sexed and stayed around this nigga? A woman. And I'm wrong, or I'm like, I need to read the whole shit. It's like Mark Curry's book, the Dancing with the Devil. This nigga Diddy keeps shitting on this nigga, but he keep chasing the nigga around the world. He get everywhere that he go pop up on these niggas. Yo, he's showing you he don't fuck with you. Why are you still going to see like, yo, bro, man? Do you hear these allegations? And this woman stayed around this man? Like she said, she seen Cassie get dragged up some steps. She seen Kim Porter get beat up, allegedly, right? Allegedly, the Cassie get dragged up. She seen this. She wanted to help her, right? What is the easiest way for her to get help? If you want to help a victim, what is the easiest way to get help? Call the police. Go to the authorities, right? Now, I don't know if Lisa Bloom, if that is Lisa Bloom, her lawyer, the Bloom firm. In fact, I can find out by looking at it. What page am I on? Let me write it down. Page 14. Yo, look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. She should go to jail. Like, she should go to jail. She remind me of fucking Jean. She should go to jail. How do you witness all this shit? Look at this right here. On many occasions, bro. On many occasions. On many occasions, Mr. Combs had parties at his Miami, Florida residence that lasted several days. At one of the parties, Ms. Richards witnessed Mr. Combs openly stating that he had arranged for busloads of young exotic girls such as Black and Asian, Indonesia, and albino. Once again, Ms. Richards observed in the Burberry young girls being sexually violated. Again, y'all, she observed it, right? Once again, Ms. Richards observed the young girls being sexually violated by Mr. Combs and his guests. In a state of panic and terror, Ms. Richards fled to the bedroom. Mr. Combs insisted she stay in and barricaded the door and shut the door with furniture. She didn't climb out the window. She didn't get on her fucking phone and call the fucking police. Y'all kidding me? She went and barricaded herself in a room to live to see the shit happen the next day. Because you just said that the residents that lasted for several days. So you seen this, and in a state of panic and terror, you fled to the bedroom that Mr. Combs insisted she stay in and barricaded the door shut with furniture. Oh, man. Mr. Combs openly assaulted Miss Ventura in front of Miss Richard. Now, this is a whole nother a whole nother situation, bro. Now, she done seen girls getting raped, allegedly, sexually violated, not raped. She's seeing women getting sexually violated, right? Now we on 4 different incidents, right? 4 different incidents, right? Now here go another one. Mr. Combs openly assaulted Miss Ventura in front of Mrs. Richard again and other witnesses on multiple occasions. When did this girl really try to help Cassie? On occasion in or around the fall of 2009, Diddy Dirty Money Dirty Money was in New York preparing to perform at a festival. Inside their vehicle, Mr. Combs grabbed Miss Ventura by the neck, pulled her out of the van onto the grass, and pinned her head down, choking her while yelling, "You gonna get the fuck up today." This incident took place in the backstage area just outside the festival and was entirely visible to passerbys. And another incident. In another instance, in or around early 2010, this is a whole year later, y'all. Mr. Combs punched Miss Ventura in the face in the bathroom of the party in Los Angeles. Frequently, when Miss Ventura attempted to voice an opinion or stand up to Mr. Combs, he would strike her or wrap his hands around her throat and choke her. Bro, I believe Cassie is a victim. I do believe this stuff may have happened to her. It ain't far-fetched seeing the video with the elevator, right? But how does this woman witness all these ass whippings as a woman and don't go to the police, even to make an anonymous phone call? She ain't got to say it's her. She could have got a girlfriend to make an anonymous phone call and got him arrested. You witnessed this girl go through all of this stuff, and now you got the courage to come forth and talk about it. After she says something, what if he killed her? What if he would have killed her? We don't know what the fuck happened to Kim because none of y'all would fucking go and call the police when y'all seeing all these ass whippings and shit going on. If this nigga is this dangerous, why the fuck none of y'all is saying nothing publicly? Who knows what happened to Kim? If he was this fucking dangerous, did y'all niggas keep wanting to get the check? You're not going to tell me you was that scared of this motherfucker that you wouldn't go to the precinct. You was scared if you say anything, you won't get your money. How was you trying to protect this girl with all these different isolated incidents and you still there and this nigga not got arrested for not one thing that you said? Y'all empowered that nigga to make him the monster that he is today if allegedly any of this shit is true. If Diddy is this monster, many of y'all should fucking feel guilty as hell, especially Dawn Richards. If you witnessed that much stuff and you wasn't on 60 Minutes, like, yo, this nigga is a monster. Or you didn't tell MTV, yo, I need to do an interview. This nigga is a monster. Get Kurt Loder over here. You doing that in 2024? You got the courage to tell us because Cassie, you saw Cassie lawsuit. That gave you the courage to tell it? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 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 But y'all be like, yeah, Joe, see, you don't want to play the game. That's why you ain't got millions. You know what I'm saying? At least she got to go around the world with Diddy because she kept her mouth shut. She got to go all around the world, nigga. She got a Grammy. She got an MTV award because she know how to keep her mouth shut. You got to play the game, Joe. You got to play the game. It's politics. You know Diddy a black boy. You can't say nothing. That's his bitch. Mind your business. And Kim is dead. And people question Kim's death to this day. Ain't none of these people that know that Kim was getting her ass beat by this nigga ever filed a police report. But everybody will come, oh, he was doing Kim fucked up. Oh, now here she gone. Tell him he beat Kim up. Motherfuckers will be quiet for a check, and then they will tell on you for another check. Ain't that a bitch? Niggas shut up. Don't tell, because they don't want to fuck their money up. Then when the money is going, they go and tell on the shit that they should have told, but they didn't tell then because it was going to get them blackballed, or it was going to fuck their money up, or he wasn't going to fuck with them no more. I don't know how people respect people like this, man. You could sit around and watch all the crimes. Niggas get high. Motherfuckers get drugged allegedly. Motherfuckers get sexually assaulted, physically assaulted. And you stay there and you work with this motherfucker. You get fired or you leave, you get dropped, whether it's Gene or fucking Dawn Richards. And you go from Danny to Kane, and then you go back to Dirty Money. You go back and work for this nigga. And you see all this shit there. Now y'all don't report nothing. Y'all don't report nothing. And now today we find out this motherfucker is this monster. And motherfuckers could have saved Kim Porter. Like, I'm not saying he had anything to do with her, allegedly, but who the fuck knows now? Now all y'all motherfuckers want to come and say something now? Fucking bunch of world of cowards for a fucking dollar. No integrity. All for the money. Like this motherfucker over here tomorrow. I don't do no interviews for free. You charging niggas to solve a murder. Okay, brother. I can see if you was a talented individual and like based on your own talent, artist, whatever, movie director, producer, whatever, and you want to charge for interviews to tell about your life story, you charging for niggas to solve a fucking murder, an unsolved murder. But niggas don't charge them when the fucking police pick them up and put them in an interrogation room. You don't tell a nigga, yo, man, y'all niggas got to pay me. First 48, I want $100 an hour. I'm walking out of this bitch for $4,800. Y'all niggas doing the first 48, I want $100 an hour. Nigga, I'm walking out of this bitch with $4,800. This shit is crazy, man. Like, I'm not defending Diddy, but this girl here, man, she ain't right. She ain't right, bro. She ain't right. She ain't right, bro. She dirty. You done sat around, watched that woman get her ass beat all that time, and now you want to come and tell it? You ain't shit. You ain't shit, shorty. That girl she could have died, bro. He could have beat her or punched her one time the wrong way, and it could have been over. And y'all sat around and watched that shit. So I wanted to help. I wanted to help. Dawn Richards, I'll get back to the rest of her paperwork tomorrow. That I'm not feeling that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling it. And I don't know, maybe because I'm just a truth teller, and I did, like, when the shit happened with Diddy with me, I dealt with it right there in the moment. This waiting 15 years later, talking about, oh, I'm saying this now because Cassie lawsuit gave me the courage to come out and speak. No. I'm not jacking that. Cassie lawsuit gave you the courage to speak. Yeah, I bet it did. She got fucking millions. You want some too. That's what's giving you the courage to speak. Because you ain't had the motherfucking courage when she was getting her ass beat. You wasn't around Diddy 24/7. You had plenty of opportunities to go to the fucking authorities. And now you got all this shit in it that you saw in this lawsuit. And you ain't once go and try to help that woman? A woman? I understand these sorry ass niggas, but as a woman, you sat around and you didn't have fear he was going to kick your ass one day? Man. You signed to the label. You on the reality show. You get in a group with this dude, and you seen this woman get her ass beat on several occasions. You saying you seen this man with underage or young girls and sexually assaulting them, and you stayed around this man for years? Years. And only today, because Kathy gave you the encouragement because she filed the lawsuit, that now you feel it's okay to tell that he did all this shit. I hope Kim Soul's haunting you too. That shit's crazy, man. I don't understand these people, man. If that was your sister, would you have called the police? Hell yeah. I bet you if that was your sister, you'd have called the police the first time you seen that nigga drag up the stairs. You probably would have jumped on the nigga. If that was you, and you and the other girl from Danny Kane, if y'all was sisters and that was y'all sister, Cassie was y'all sister, and all three of y'all was sisters, and Puff was her man, and he was beating her ass and throwing eggs at her and dragging up the stairs. You telling me you and your sister would have sat there and watched that nigga drag up the stairs? What you would have did? Oh, being that she ain't your sister is a different story. But if you, all three of y'all was sisters, and he did that shit in front of y'all, what you would have did, Dawn? Any of y'all watching, any woman watching, if you and your sisters, your two sisters, watch Puff drag your sister up the stairs, what the fuck would y'all do? That's a real question. If your sister, if you and your sister is at Diddy house, all three of y'all, and your sister's dating him, but you got a record deal with him, but your sister's dating him, and he start beating on your sister and dragging her upstairs, what do you do if you the girl that signed to the record label and he dating your sister and he start whipping her ass? What are the other two sisters going to do, y'all? Don't type too fast. Any black women in here? Oh, now we hit different. What would you do? So if that was Dawn and her sister was dating Cassie, and he did the same fucking shit happened, what would happen? This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. When it comes to money and fame, people get stupid. When it comes to money and fame, that shit changes the rules for some reason. Not for me. Because if that was three girls from the ghetto and the nigga started beating his girl ass and dragging her up and they was all sisters, trust me, they all jumping on that nigga. They not sitting there watching this nigga just drag up the stairs like, you know we can't say nothing, right? We got a record deal with him. Turn your head, girl. Act like you don't see it. Come here, bitch. Come on, fuck upstairs. Come here. Hey, we can't say nothing. He gonna drop us. We'll get blackboarded. Come on, bitch. Get the fuck up these stairs. Get up here. I hate the way you make eggs. I hate the way you make eggs. What did we do? Should we leave? I think we should get out of here. You know, like he don't seem like he's in a good mood. I think we should go. You know, what do you like? Are you serious? Man, okay. Okay. I know everybody hate Diddy right now, right? Once again, I'm not defending Diddy. I'm just saying, as a woman, reading all you saying that you witnessed all these things and you wanted to help this woman, but if she was your sister, would you have turned a blind eye to her? Would you have not jumped on this nigga back? Would you have not grabbed the knife and stabbed his motherfucking ass in the house? If that was your sister and he was beating on her? because I know a bunch of black women, I know a bunch of Spanish women, that if that was their sister and that man was beating their ass and they was standing right there in the kitchen watching that, and that was their sister, shit, that nigga would have had a whole knife in his head. He would have got busted in the head with a flower pot. They would not have stood there and watched that shit. And if you the type of woman that's telling me that if that was your sister and he was beating her ass like that, that you would have sat there in that kitchen and just went to your fucking hotel room, what kind of woman are you? Or do she have to be your sister for you to do that? Being that she ain't your sister, mind your fucking business, right? Let him beat that little yellow girl up, double her weight, double her height. Mind your fucking business, right? Because you got a record there. Yeah, all right, y'all. Okay. You ain't never seen me around Dame beating a woman. Shut the fuck up. Coming in here with the dumb shit. Stupid ass. Did you turn a blind eye when Dame was doing it? Fuck out of here. You get the fuck out of here. And I'm going to help you get the fuck out of here. Goodbye, good riddance. Stupid ass. Dame did it. Like, I would have fucked Dame up if he was beating some woman up in front of me. I wouldn't have had to call the police. He would have called the fucking ambulance on himself. If you think I would have sat around and watched that nigga, what? I'm from a different era. We the niggas that carried the ladies' bags upstairs. We didn't blow weed smoke in their face coming in the building. Different generation. I like I said, man, I'll get back to that tomorrow. I don't, you know, that really killed my energy that she would sit there and put this in this lawsuit that she's seen all this stuff and then it made no advancements in making sure that girl just making sure that girl got help, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. She'll not like to me, she looked crazy in this lawsuit because for me, the lawsuit is, oh yeah, I seen him do that to Cassie. Yeah, I seen him do that to Cassie. Yeah, I seen him do that to Cassie. Yeah, I seen him do sexual assaults. Yeah, I seen him do drugs. Yeah, I seen him like. For me to read all those pages, I have not yet seen him to do anything other than be in front of her in his underwear. And as far as she's concerned, and like I said, I didn't get to the halfway through it, but right now it just looks like, yeah, I seen him do this to Cassie. Yeah, I seen him do that to Cassie. Yeah, I seen him with girls. Yeah, I seen him with young girls. Yeah, I seen him with drugs. Yeah, that's what this is given to me. But we'll see. We'll get more into it, you know. But to me, she ain't shit for not fucking telling on that nigga fucking 10 years ago, 15 years ago. She should have told on his ass, seeing all that shit. Choke no joke, I didn't curse too much in this episode, and I'm very sorry, but that emotionally hurts me to see a woman watch a woman be abused and just sit there and get her check. It's crazy. Choke no joke, man. I'll be back tomorrow with more. All right? Peace. Please hit that like before you go. I appreciate it. Much love for everybody sending donations. One.
Choke, no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah, now. Choke, no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah. This what ATL in New York sound like. Let's go. Y'all hating ass niggas, I see y'all. Choke, get busy, that's why I got the crown. Hate in the air, you clowns, I see the envy that you breed, jealousy. What you need is your own damn hustle. Stop worrying about mine. Nigga, I'm popping cause I put in time. Came out modeling, camera in hand. Still get busy with the mic in hand. Streets pulled out, niggas got sprayed. Niggas turn on you when they see you get paid. The intimidation in your face. Where's the love? What's taking place? You want my gold and my ducats. Cause my money overflowing out of buckets. Shot him in public, made people holler. Scar on his face for the money and the power. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the game had me fooled, got in, was young. Thought talent made you rich, damn, was dumb. More to make, cake from crumbs. You gotta be sweet, G or native tongue. My heartbeat went into overload. When Larry tried to turn me into a mole, told me show my curly to the CEO. I didn't think it's funny, so his jaw hit the floor and grabbed that chair that broke his back. Then realized that's a hate attack. Harassment comes assault, you in the maze. No way out, like Puff and Mace. Touch me, tease me, I catch a case. Nigga, you ain't straight as your poker face. Father law God, in that game I fold. This sun don't tick, demon time don't hold. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. On the ones and twos, chokester. What y'all want to do? I'm here now. Eden Wall, stand up. Shout out to the bomb squad.
Hey, I dropped a link for y'all. I need y'all to check it out. The link is also in the description of this video, of this YouTube video. I need y'all to go check that out. And if you didn't check it out, it's on my Instagram as well. You might have seen it on my Instagram. It's my last post. You know what I mean? But if you haven't, I just dropped the link for y'all. I need y'all to go check that out. I just dropped the link for y'all, and the link is in my description. Oh, I got a good one for y'all. Please make sure you go click that link. You know what it is. I'm out.
Oh yeah. My man had to come through and make sure it went through. Y'all niggas is in trouble. Choke no joke. I ain't no joke, the mixtape. We here now. You already know. Let's go. choke chillin', got away from the building. Ain't shit really changed though, I'm still that villain. I'm making money with rhyme, fuck black on black crime. Beef and money don't mix, like Muslims and swine. I'm talking milk, penicillin, y'all be illin'. Y'all be thinking y'all killers, with y'all screw face grillin'. Kick that bullshit to me, y'all be wet though like Bruce Lee. And Brandon and Hearst on the highway to heaven. Man, you making mad threats and stuck in one section. I'm OBP like Naughty, making connections. Talking under your breath, get you something you don't need. 2 fully loaded Macs, filled up with heat. Nigga, you sweeter than 30 days for a body. Pop shit to these niggas, see me walk by me. But I ain't looking for no beef, I don't eat bologna. But I bring a whole cow if you run up on me. Shiesty, try me and hype me to peel your wig back like 10 cent icy. Bring it, stop bluffing, I got your threats, they mean nothing. I respond like Bond, I come through on bombing. Playing bodegas, flipping Montega. You tan in the Jacks, I tan in Jamaica. Faker, wouldn't bust if he raped ya. Your chick outblazed her, hit it like Jada. While you blew up a pager, had to breathe like Vader. Your star at war, with the lightsaber. I'm here to lyrically tear your rear, nigga, you a spear. I jack you up, now you outta here. Throw me on the 600, now fucking nigga humming. Blowing down 8th Ave with a bad bitch blunted. I take it there, y'all niggas don't want it. Y'all niggas don't want it. Y'all niggas don't want it with no joke. Who you thought it be? Represent the NYC. Bring it on if you niggas want some of me. Have y'all niggas feeling it like Jay-Z. No joke. Who you thought it be? Represent the NYC. Bring it on if you niggas want some of me. Bronze King like the LORD-FINE-SC. And that bullshit y'all do, y'all niggas don't stress me. Oh yeah, and you already know, Eden War what it is. Choke, no joke, I ain't no joke. The mixtape, we here now. Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke.